Good evening, welcome back to the Mancunian Way. My name is Martin, I'm your host, joined by the gruesome twosome. That is Rich and Ozzy. Don't know where Pat is.
I think he's on the side of a milk carton.
Anyone seen Pat? Yeah, I'm leaving that one up. Yeah, and we're going to be joined by Ian, who is in the background, who's going to come and talk the Newcastle part. We have started a bit late. So what I'm going to do is few hellos, we'll bring Ian in, and then we'll go from there. How are you, gentlemen?
You're on mute, Rich.
You know what I said? I said not bad, not bad. You could have read. You could clearly have read it. Read my lips.
Oh yeah,
I'm not reading your lips.
You hear the dogs. The dogs just.
I think I'm gonna have to go and give the dogs some treats.
I'm muting you, Rich. You were better the first time. Sort your dogs out. Good evening, Ian. Good evening, Nick. How are you, gentlemen?
Yeah, good. Thanks, guys. How are you guys?
Yeah,
could be better.
How are you doing? What time is it over there for you guys?
Right. 9 o'clock.
We'll get into just say some hellos. We'll get straight into it. I promise you, because I know everyone's gonna. We haven't done anything since we did, so I do apologise. Ian, if you want to go and grab yourself a coffee, come back in 15, mate. You can do.
What's me? Oh. Grab a coffee.
All right, grab a granny, cup of tea, whatever you want.
No, not this time of night, son. No chance. I'm not grabbing no coffees.
A granny, whatever you want, mate.
I'll have a gin and tonic if you mind.
You can't be asking that in the ale houses of Newcastle. He's asking for the G&T around there.
Get in there, son.
G&T. Good evening, Kathy. How are you? Blue Art. Good evening. Lovely to see you. All recovered from another late collapse. Yeah, I'm back to my happy clappy days. Sorry, I can't see how walking football getting us anywhere at the moment. Always, well, get used to it. Always ready, Kathy. Evening, let's smash the Geordies now this weekend. Get back on track. Martin keeping us in suspend. I was on loaded mag, so I do apologise. I was just literally finishing up there with LB and Luke. Evening, everyone. Hello, Foggy. How are you, mate? I did respond to your email. Let me know if you did get it. I've responded to all emails now. Let me know if anyone's sending new ones. I will check them. Good evening, Pardo. Yeah, make sure you say hello to everyone else as well. JH is in the building. Dash is with us. I'm not kidnapping anyone. Yes, we'll go into the update on Manuel Akanji because he's not out for the season. He's going to be out for a bit, but it won't be all season. I'm actually all right because he's actually going to get a rest. It's a shame that a player has to get a proper injury to get a rest now. Because as I said, there's only so much painkiller injection we'll go with, sadly. And Akanji's hit his limit. We're not doing no whip around for Chris Wood. Oh, by the way, there's a brand new thing on the channel. I'm going to show it you all. When I'm not allowed to speak, because Rich and Ozzy go off on a little tangent, I'm now going to put this up.
Let me talk! Let me talk! Come on! Let me talk! Come on!
He's such a prima donna. He really is.
Ain't messing around now, you know.
It's okay. Ozzy and me have got a montage of Chris Wood's specials to put up whenever you're talking too much.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just going to ignore you now. Good evening, one and all. The barcodes and X. What's going to happen? We'll see when we get onto that part. Evening, all. I had telling Dennis Loffian the other day on behalf of the Manchester City Football Group. Thank you, supporters. It's such a moving event. Rest in peace. Thank you so much, man. I hope it was a moving event. And rest in peace, yes, to the legend that was Dennis Law. Manchester legend. Played for the Blues and the Reds. First Scotsman to win the Ballon d'Or as well. Good evening, Martin, Ozzy and Rich. Steve here. There's loads on tonight. Does anyone know which continent Patty's on?
I assume he's working. No idea.
He's somewhere.
I blame DC. She's got him tied up in a basement. City can win on Saturday. They can. But they do well. Good evening, Lena. How are you, my friend? Good evening, Ian. Matt Fogg, thank you for renewing for the 20th month, mate. You are a superstar. Thank you so much. You legend, sir. And Tone has jumped in with a very early super chat. Thank you, mate. Hi, all. Smash that like button. Top show. Thank you, mate. And we do appreciate it.
More than you believe. More than you believe, I'm happy.
Good evening, Peter. Loads already in. Fee, hello. Sat with my Geordie husband. Looking forward to this one. So which one's sleeping on the couch Saturday night? Lenny's gone for a 3-1 win. Yes. Well, he's not going to be ruled out for the rest of the season at the minute. At the moment, it's a while, but it's not all season. Up the tunes, Geordie. Yeah, we will have some Geordies in the house tonight because it is. We're going to talk about them in the end. No rest for the Kanja. Get him on there on crutches. I can't get him in there on crutches. I can't see Rico right back. No Mercer. I like that addition. See, they're all loving it. They're loving it. Never mind. Major all over on it. Yes, I have had a little bit of an update on some of that, which I will share. Appreciate that, mate. Thank you so much. And like I said, our emails are welcome to everyone. Just come and have a chat with us. I'm just going to start that. Connor will come back to that. I think you should just go out to Champions League and focus on playing once a week. You lot need to do that. You lot need to do that. Stop bottling it in the last minute against Everton. Stop it. You've got to win this league. Don't be having them from North London win it. We're not winning any this month. We're screwed.
Aren't they having to play Trossard up front the rest of the season? I don't think they're.
Has Alan changed his name to Salah Ibrahim?
Probably.
Are you Alan in disguise? Thank you, BM, for becoming a YouTube member. That's very kind of you. We do appreciate it as well. It's Fee's birthday. Everyone wish Fee a happy 50th.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy 50th. No.
You haven't got a
I will
montage, right?
cushion off. Never mind. Right, let's get into it. Real Madrid. Who wants to start?
I'll start.
It's all we need an opposition fans review. Oh,
He
go
just
on.
wants to talk about the Champions
No.
It's
League.
probably better than 90% of our own fans for us, to be fair.
Yeah, don't want to hear our own fans talking about it at the moment.
I think you should have been 2-0 down within 10 minutes, without a shadow of a doubt. And I look, he's all nodding. And then
I disagree. Carry on.
How can you disagree, Martin, right, when they nearly walked the ball in the net twice? Walked the ball. And it was only bad decision-making in the final third that didn't come to an effect where they didn't score 2 goals, by the way. However, I thought Manchester City yourselves responded quite well, right? But if they took the right decisions, I thought that game was dead and buried within 10 minutes, by the way. 10 minutes. And I don't understand where... When I was, because obviously I took the game with interest, obviously with coming into your game on the weekend, I don't understand the way you're starting games. I really don't, against the top sides. Just can't get my head around it. Being such a predominant force around Europe for the last seasons and seasons and seasons, I don't get you no more. I really don't. And I can't point my finger where it's going at. I really don't.
We can't finish games off. That's
Now, mate,
our biggest thing starting the game is finishing it.
Can't finish a game off.
Well, starting it as well, we've gone down.
But if you're going to start games where you need to put a foothold in the game, and if you're going to be starting on the back foot like that, I just don't understand. It's not the Manchester City what we have seen for the last. I just don't understand. What, 5-6 years? Easy.
We give up a stupid goal in the first half nearly every game. In fact, ironically, Real Madrid, we probably didn't give up the stupid goal in the first half like we normally do, but we've seen it, Ipswich, Brentford, Bruges, you name the game.
Yeah,
we've let in a stupid
Real
goal.
Madrid. This is not Bruges.
Yeah.
This is not Feyenoord at the same time. You have got.
And we actually didn't, we didn't let up a stupid goal, partly their fault, for not finishing it, but we actually just kept the stupid for the end, not the beginning.
But
it's bizarre.
My point is when I've always watched Manchester City, they've always been so drilled in from minute one. That's the way they're going to do these. How can you be so wide open and all over the place from minute one? I just don't get this anymore from you. I don't know. It's really. It's not the Manchester City we all know. And I know you were playing Real Madrid, right? I get that. But it wasn't... If you were playing... Well, no disrespect. I don't want to disrespect any of the football team. I think the way you started that football match in that Champions League, I think any team we've played against you would have created chances because you were all over the place for 10 minutes. And I just don't get it. That's not Manchester City, what I've seen.
Yeah, how you could have started that sentence is Man United.
No. I get what you're saying there.
We're not that bad.
That's a bit easy.
I'll go down that route.
That's a bit. They're so bad. It's unbelievable. Like,
See, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be straight with you. I actually thought the first half overall was the best we've played in a long time.
Right, you've just deflected away from the first 10 minutes again when you were terrible.
But I'm not. But see, the thing is with me, Ian, I agree with you, but to me, I'm looking. We have been bad this season.
Yeah,
100%. I agree with you, but I actually thought the starting 11 was actually all right. Thought he picked the right team, the right 11. When I'm looking at it, where we went wrong was the substitutes. I thought John Stones was having the freedom of the Etihad in the whole first half, which was helping us. John Stones was phenomenal in that CDM role in that first half.
Yeah.
And Real Madrid created chances. I do not doubt that. But City created chances. And I think it was always going to be one of them games. It was two top teams that are so off it this season, both teams. Because I'll be honest with you, I thought Real Madrid were crap. Thought they were really poor. It was exactly what I got told on the Real Madrid show the night before. It was individuals that was getting them out of trouble this year, whereas we can't do that this year. Our individual brilliance is not getting us out of a sticky situation. Real Madrid are having their individuals get them out of a problem.
Yeah.
Now, that was kind of was a bit last season.
And to be fair, that's been Real Madrid for much of the last 20 years. A lot of the last 20 years that they've won Champions Leagues without playing very well because of individual moments.
How Jude Bellingham got anywhere near the Man of the Match nomination? God knows. I'm watching a different game. They were watching a rerun of Jude Bellingham somewhere else. Vinicius Junior didn't really do a lot, to be honest. He got the assist. That's what mattered. Mbappe was virtually anonymous. His shins went in. And my issue was, I thought first half, we created a brilliant goal. I was gutted about Grealish because I thought Grealish added that little bit of patience and also a little bit of a spark when required, when we needed it.
Yeah. And
when he went off, I was gutted for him because I thought Grealish was causing him some havoc. He was being positive. It was him who plays the ball over the top for Haaland to score.
Lovely ball.
By the way. And everyone forgot all about that. And then second half, we lost Akanji to injury, which is now going to be 6, 7, 3 to 4, could be a bit longer weeks. You lost Grealish to injury, and he looks like he's got a groin strain, potentially. And I thought then he made the wrong subs.
Yeah,
and he should never have,
in the ground.
He should never have changed Stones.
I'm going to be straight with you now. In the ground at half time, we were like, yeah, we're going to win this. We were okay. We were actually confident in the ground.
Yeah, same with us. Went over here.
We weren't what I think. None of us were what Real Madrid had chances, but again, it's Real Madrid. They're going to get chances. If that was Feyenoord, then I'm more worried. I went into that game knowing we were going to concede chances.
How many times this season, Martin, that Manchester City started really poorly and conceded goals early on?
At least a dozen games.
Yeah. There you go. And this is the point I'm making, right? And it's because you watch Manchester City every single game, right? I don't. Mm-hmm. And I've only took I watched the Arsenal game and I watched this one because obviously we're playing you soon. So this is what I'm thinking, and I'm thinking this is not the Manchester City team of old, in my opinion, because I've never known a Manchester City team of all the years I know look so vulnerable early on. The Manchester City teams I know, they take control of the game. They look so they look so controlling possession. They look dead relaxed. They take control of a football match, doesn't matter if they're home or away. Now I just don't know what.
Well, there's a fairly simple explanation. They've taken the world's best midfielder, or world's best player from last year, out of the team, whose role is controlling that midfield.
You think it's just down to him?
I think it's down to him and the fact we hadn't until 2 weeks ago played the same centre back pairing in consecutive games.
Yeah.
So basically, you've opened up our midfield, and we've got no cover because Calvin Phillips was supposed to be the cover, and he was no good for us, and he's at Ipswich, so he got no cover. So we've essentially had Kovacic coming back, and all he wants to do, I mean, he's a good player at the right time, but all he wants to do is dribble with the ball, which means he loses it half the time. And he is not someone who can pass under pressure like Rodri, and he's not physical enough. We saw with the third Madrid goal. He's in there. He looks like someone's going to challenge him, so he just does some aerial sidekick the ball backwards and basically puts Rico Lewis in all sorts an impossible position with the Madrid forwards running onto it. So we've had that. But if we had Stones and Ake, or Ake and Diaz every game playing centre-back, I think they'd have got organised and be able to do it. But we've basically then had that huge hole from Rodri, and then we've had Simpson, Pusi and Ake. We've had Kuzanov and Diaz. We've just had different centre-backs every week, and mostly they've been playing injured. So Diaz came back, played about 2 games, went straight back out again. Akanji's played all season with injections. Ake has played with a where he played a couple of games where he couldn't actually sprint. So you see him, his hammy's so buggered that he's kind of jogging in the game, and it's scary when you're looking at effect. I think the Premier League overall now is the strongest it's ever been when you look at the teams in the middle. The pace and power that so many teams like Brentford, Bournemouth, etc. have means that, and you've seen it, it was Bournemouth who beat you at home a few weeks ago. Some of those teams, for mid-table teams, the pace, power and technical ability they have is ridiculous. And you can't have an off season now. And we're getting a few years ago, if we'd have had these injuries and, we'd have probably been exposed against the top teams, against the Liverpools, and we might have been finding it easy to come third. This season, we're getting exposed versus Brighton, Brentford, Bournemouth, you name it. We've been exposed. And I think that's the trouble. And we need someone who can play when Rodri's not playing, but we do need Rodri back, and we need an established centre-back pairing to actually play week in, week out.
Do you mind if I jump in and add on that? I definitely think that like having our forwards, again, we play like such a free-flowing style of football, like we move the ball quickly. You can see this year, like not having Rodri, that if they've got no confidence behind them, it'd be the same as you guys taking out Bruno and Tonali. Your attacking players are going to have to slow things down a bit more. They're worried about the transition. I think that's watching our games week in, week out. That's our biggest issue for sure.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Really?
We won our first 7 games without Rodri. We didn't lose a game
moving the ball. Yeah.
I think from Real Madrid's point of view, Ancelotti had said before the game started, he'd say to his players, listen, press the City players, run at them, challenge them, because they're not going to like that. And we've seen that throughout the last few games, as you pointed out, Ian. It's been, you come under pressure and we suddenly just bottle it. We struggle. We struggled, especially for those first 10 minutes. The offside goal with Vinicius Junior, where, could have been a penalty, but obviously we were saved by the offside rule. We found, as Marty said, though, we kind of found our rhythm after that point. We got into what was really kind of starting to look like the old City way, where we have control, where we play through stones and play to the forward players. And Grealish was a big part of that. I have to take slight umbrage to Martin saying, he liked the starting 11. I didn't, because even though Grealish, yes, played well for the first 30 minutes, I didn't think he deserved his place, because he's been pretty much frozen out through most of the games this season. And even though, yes, I can understand why he was brought on for that control, because Pep wanted his wingers to be out wide, touching the lines, it just felt to me that he just didn't deserve to be there. And because he hadn't had a lot of previous games, he hadn't played, he was coming into this cold. Do you know what I mean? So bringing in a player,
I'd say he played at the weekend, and he
played at the weekend. But I'm sorry,
he played well.
Madrid, not up against the lower.
Yeah, but I think
the other players have shown they're not up there than yet.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, though, Mike, is he still, for me, didn't deserve that spot. I think there were other players. I looked at that starting 11, and I personally thought, yes, I can understand the control. I can understand what Pep's doing, but all honesty, this is a game, we're at home, and we need to win. I had to pause there because I was waiting for Rich to pause. It's a game that we have to win, and I felt like we needed that attack. Grealish doesn't bring you anything more than control.
It was him, but he created the first goal.
Yeah, but he has that's one creation. How much has he done that this season, Martin? Barely anything.
No, I get, but you can't. But name me, who would you have played then instead?
Well, we had other attacking options on the bench, Martin. Well, we had Foden on the bench, who's played out there.
Marmoush.
We've got Mamouche. You know, there are other attacking. We haven't had many attacking options on the bench recently. We've got attacking players, and the big thing that I couldn't understand as well is where
Mush is more of a central player than a wide.
he is, but he can play it wide as well. I'm not saying he definitely would have been, but you could have.
I mean, I'm looking from the outside in here, and to get the best out of Mamouche, he's a 10 or a forward off. So you're not to put him out wide. I think you're kind of hanging him out to dry a little bit just to fill holes. You've got to play your best players in the best position. Mamouche is absolutely fantastic player, by the way, and I think you've got a real top player. And to put him out there just to fill holes, I think Grealish fits that role better than him. If I must have, in my opinion,
yeah.
But I'm not saying he definitely goes out on the wing.
I think
you're flogging the wrong horse in Grealish.
Yeah, you seem to be, Ozzy, you seem to be more. You seem to be more annoyed at him getting picked than the actual performance, and he played okay. But I think what we have to say is,
I'm going to say this.
What Pep's wanted from Grealish is some fight and some quality.
Yeah, I'm going to say.
And again, in the FA Cup, he produced the moment of the match along with their goal. His pass to De Bruyne was probably the best assist we've had all season, and he played well.
That's
what he needed. That's what Pep's asked for. Pep's asked for him to show it in the game.
What a lot of
analysing the game.
You can't have a player of his quality coming in after one good game.
Question for you. If you can't play without one good game, he can never play again. Because you're never going to give him a chance to have a good game.
He doesn't get a chance anymore. He's gone.
We
all know that Grealish is going in the summer.
You're doing it's like the Gundo was crap. He played 6 minutes. Gundo was not crap, was not the reason we lost. I don't know where everyone's gone with the Gundo stuff.
Because he shouldn't have come on. He's not good enough right now. North Kovacic.
What did he do wrong? Tell me what he did wrong. Because Gundogan was not involved in any of them goals.
Yeah, you're right. He wasn't because his legs have gone. Couldn't track back.
Oh my God! This is the
Sorry,
problem.
Matt, just
too many people running agendas than they're watching football with their
eyes. Agendas, Mike. It's the truth. He hasn't got legs.
This is what we said afterwards. People were gonna. What they're doing is they're coming back from what's gone on previously in the season. We are never going to move forward with that attitude of well, this play's been crap, so that's it, ending.
Can I just pose a question to you, Matt?
Said that
he did nothing wrong when he come on.
You said it was a bad substitution, so
no, I didn't actually say. Said Kovacic and Rico was.
All right.
So, sorry, Martin. Just on the Grealish one.
Can't do 6 minutes, and we have got a problem.
Do you not think Grealish would have been a better option for the second leg? I think they're expecting Rudiger back and a few other defenders and whatnot. I think having Grealish in that game probably would have been a bit better. And then having, I don't know, could have played Savio over there, Foden on the other side, or Marmouche, and really have a go at them at home. I think that was a bit of a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I agree with that point. I think Grealish would have been better for the away leg.
I just want to get your opinion on that one, guys.
Yeah,
I agree that that point that would have been a really good chance to have Grealish in the team because he gives you that control. We're away from home. That totally makes sense to me. What didn't make sense to me is him in this game.
I agree, but I think he did play well while he was on the pitch. But I would have personally. Yeah,
I haven't scrutinised his performance. I haven't said he was bad. I just didn't understand why he was on the pitch.
Yep.
Simple as.
The only thing I will say is this: it's going to be hard to do any kind of analysis moving forward if we're going to go on at what they've done previously 5 weeks ago.
I get that.
We've got to look at it as a match basis.
Yeah.
We don't choose. You can't. It's like I understand the thing with Grealish, but he's on 300 grand a week. He was one of the best players against Leyton Orient. Was a surprise he played. Yeah. If he'd have come on, if he'd have started and was crap, to get it. But he was one of our best players and was causing Madrid issues. I just think it's the wrong horse to be flogging.
I'm not flogging a horse, Mike. I'm just saying I'm criticising why he was on the pitch, not what he did on the pitch on the night, but I'm criticising why.
Been an absolute drop for weeks.
Mamouche has been.
So we changed it.
Foden's been bad compared to Grealish. No.
I just think it's a bit of a missed
comparing
opportunity.
against.
Yeah.
But we have to rest players as well and rotate. You've got Newcastle, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham all coming up as well, and Villa. At what point do you put Grealish out?
He was out.
He's not gonna be
He was
out
out
there
for the FA Cup game, Martin. What more do you want?
So you what pay £300 a week for one game in 6 months
Against Leighton Orient.
against Leighton Orient? That's where we're at now.
Yeah,
Martin, that's where he's put himself. I haven't put him in that box.
But
Pep hasn't put him in that box. He's put himself in that box by not stepping up.
But we're just so who right? Right. The best way to do this, because this is where I'm a little bit lost. I'm sat there and I look at the bench. Right, Doku was not fit to come on. He was there for a body. Foden came on, was exquisite. Nico Gonzalez was not fit to come on. Nobody wanted Gundogan. Kovacic come on, you've all seen what he did. Rico Lewis come on, you've seen what he did. Do you know what other midfielders you've got left, Ozzy? Mateus Nunes and McAtee. You're rolling them out against Real Madrid.
I've already mentioned 2 players I'll have had on instead, so I don't need to go via that. Because I'm not calling for the likes of Nunes to call the pitch.
I think Ozzy's just trying to say the selection didn't really make sense. I think he was fine with him while he was on the pitch. He actually played really well.
That is my point, Nick. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I think a lot of us were just confused with him being included.
So if you were questioning the selection, who would you rather put in his place?
I would have gone Foden on the other side.
So Phil Foden. Yeah.
That's who I'd have gone with. In all honesty, and Mamouche could have come on at some stage as well, whether that's replacing Kevin De Bruyne, because let's be honest, Kevin De Bruyne did not have a good game. You know, I think he could have come off a lot earlier.
Yeah.
So there are options that we could have used and we didn't, or we didn't start them.
I know you're saying you would replace Foden with Grealish, right? And I know his hands are tied, but that's not his favourite position, really.
It's not, but at the moment, you know, sometimes
what
players, you know, square hole.
What I'm saying there is to get the best out of Phil Foden. This is you got to look in from Pep's head of your mind, not your own. If you're going to put him out there on the left, are you going to get the best out of Phil Foden? Or are you going to get the best out of Grealish, who's naturally going to be there, who's potentially got a point to prove because he wants to be in the start 11? So you've got to look in from a management perspective. And say, look, we're not just going to put square pegs and round holes here. And you've got to look from the bench as well. You've got an attacking option coming off the bench with Phil Foden, who doesn't normally play there, who plays more of a 10 or floating around in holes where he's unmarkable in times and he's absolutely world class. Or do you just put him out there to be hung and dry while he does for England? What would you rather be?
I would have put Foden on the right and then move Savio across to the left.
So this is what you're doing. This. So now this is a formation where it's going to be totally disrupted, where Pep feels he's settled against one of the best teams in the world, the Champions League side. So this is why he's went for Grealish. You can see this now. This is why the tick's been put to Grealish, 1,000,000%.
Ian,
the fan base has been trying forward in the last few weeks.
This is 1,000,000% Manchester City this season in this conversation.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this.
Had a few individuals not made stupid mistakes, as in Ederson and Kovacic, made stupid mistakes in the last 10 minutes. Everyone would have been lauding a great performance. Pep picked the right side. And I think it's hard to say, given how we've been playing and given how we went, toe to toe and should have beaten arguably the best side in Europe. I don't know what the complaint about the picking the team is. Ultimately, for me, it came down to the same as so many games this season. Kovacic and Ederson both made absolutely stupid mistakes in the game without those stupid individual mistakes. And that is partly, partly Kovacic. I think it's his quality. Rodri wouldn't have made that mistake. Rodri doesn't make those mistakes, or incredibly rarely does. And if they are, they're normally trying to execute something sensibly and it not coming off. Whereas Kovacic, why are you just jump in the air and do a ballerina kick of the ball 15 yards backwards to your own goal when you've got Mbappe, Vinicius and Rodri, whoever in between. And then Ederson, why in the 86th minute of a game when you're 2-0 up against 2-1 up against Real Madrid, and I love Ederson, I think he's miles better than Ortega, do you suddenly invent this new sideways fancy kick it 30 meters to try and be pinpoint to a player when there's 6 players in a line, 3 of yours, 3 of theirs? Why'd you do that? Why wouldn't you just pump that for Haaland's head? Pump that for Haaland's head. City reset. There's no danger. Ederson, I don't know whether it's his own hubris and he just thinks now he's so good, because he had a good game until then. He'd actually played pretty well.
Unbelievable.
Why? Why'd you just do something that completely stupid? I mean, it was just...
Can I just say this? And this, by the way, Ozzy, this is not at you. I think this sums up our whole fan base right now. We are rationalising everything, and with the escape. I cannot pick a player in this squad who's not been scapegoated this season. 2 months ago, we had Kyle Walker's fault.
Martin, is this not what we've had hours of conversations on the phone? Is because
and this is what I've said to you. This is the problem. We are trying to rationalise and find a reasoning behind what is going on. And the simple thing of it is they are knackered, they are tired. We have drawn every ounce of strength, blood, energy, sweat, tears out of some of these players. They are done. If you can't accept it, then I can't help you.
Yeah. I think one of the big things for me to take away.
To blame Gundogan, who played 6 minutes and did nothing wrong for losing that game, is head block. I can name you 6 players worse than Gundogan on that pitch who made errors, and the first people everyone go to is Gundogan. Why? Because he's the new scapegoat.
Because you've got them back on a free to pull you out the shite.
That's why.
You couldn't buy anybody.
And it isn't.
It's not that we couldn't buy anybody. It was just a safe option.
It's not when you blame the players.
It's a safe option. That's bang on. Yeah. Sorry.
The thing that I take away is that we talked about the players, but what we haven't talked about is Pep, because Pep is seen as we can't criticise Pep. We do on this channel, we have done, but the big thing I think we can take away is that Pep has looked at this, and for me, he's relied on the old, experienced players.
It's the players that he trusts. It's as simple as that.
It's the players that he really trusts. But he's also looked at it as you're the players who got us into this mess, so I expect you to get us out of it.
Correct.
And the problem is that's been one of the problems, is that, as Martin alluded to earlier, this is the reason we've had such an injury crisis, especially at the back, is because we've had no other choice, because we haven't relied on some of the youngsters, and we didn't buy either. So, and I'm not going to go back all into that, but that just little bit is what has happened. Really, is that Pep has let this happen, as in he's let the players get old, he's trusted them too much, and we've come off the back of the 4P, which has completely burnt us, mentally and physically, and we're in this position now. Now, the problem is that there's no solving this in the middle of a season, really. We need time to stop, analyse properly, and then rebuild for the next season.
And the real problem in there's
no point in melting down week after week after week after week, because we ain't going to change.
Oh, if don't
the
do
real
that,
problem with the football narrative. I mean, Ian, as a fan of another club, it's amazing how many fans I talk to other clubs who say, "Well, City have got the biggest squad in the Premier League. These injuries don't matter." And the fact is, City have had 3 of the past 4 years. We've actually registered the smallest squad in the Premier League. High quality, I'm not denying, a lot of good players, but we've been trying to do it with 17 players every season, where 100%. Often, Chelsea have had 25, Liverpool have had 24, 25, and that's worked really well for Pep, because he works with a small group. They get coached to a higher quality, but when age comes in, and I think it's age, because I think age has driven a lot of the injuries. I think it's just bodies break down. When age has hit, it has gone off a cliff. It's gone from winning the 4th title and and to be honest, they rolled the dice in 22. They rolled the dice in 23. They got it right, and then when they rolled the dice again in 24, too much football over too many years, and players hitting 30, and suddenly they have just gone off a cliff. And playing against week in, week out teams with so much pace and physicality in midfield that teams who we think we should beat are just absolutely battering us in midfield, and that has to be solved. I think obviously we've signed Gonzalez, we've got Rodri back, April, May, so we'll get some of that physicality defensively back, but we probably still need at least one more, because I think we can see that Kev, is only going to be a 1 in 3 player game probably. When he's rested and he's only playing every third game, he's still got, he can still run, but he can't play every week. Gundo can't. Bernardo's been overplayed. I still have faith that Bernardo is one of our best players, and if he's actually not forced to play
season.
70 games, no, but Bernardo's played 70 games a year for 6 or 7 seasons on the trot. I'll protect Bernardo because no one has run more miles and worked harder for us.
We've
and he
all
needs
got
rest.
into our little corners, and we're all backing our favourites, and we're all backing.
Well, no. They all need players.
Section yet?
Yeah. Players who aren't my favourites still need a rest. Some of our centre backs aren't my favourite players. Ake's not my favourite player, but he's been overplayed. He's been played injured. They all have. There's no player in our team apart from like a McAtee or maybe Lewis.
I'll tell you where Rich has got a really good point. Is where Bernardo in that Chelsea game, he helped out when we had that massive getting his name Kujanov now, where he had that big mess up and Bernardo went back and helped him out. That's what we could have done with Bernardo doing in the Real Madrid game, is helping out Rico a lot more, or somebody to do that, but we didn't. So
Rico's
Rich, it's what else? Who would you else brought on in that?
I'd rather Bernardo doing that role than Kovacic.
And I'll tell you why. I need to.
And kept Stones up.
Tembani, by the way, I know you're not blaming. What I'm saying is, we had no options. Mamouche was already coming on. Foden was on. Kovacic was already on. Unless you're willing to bring on Nunes, who everyone says is shit and they hate and they don't want anywhere near the team, or you're willing to bring on a young kid, which you saw where that went with O'Reilly. With Rico Lewis. He only had Gundo to put on. This is my point. Gundo came on because we were knackered. We were gone.
Why we didn't put Kusanov on against Vinicius? Because he would have absolutely hated Kusanov.
But that's my point, Rich. You start the game with 4 centre backs. Initially, you start the game with 4 centre backs and Stones goes and inverts. Why can't Kusanov do that role? He's a centre back. I'm not saying play him as a right back. I'm saying you've started the 11 with no recognised fullback anyway. Yeah. So
we don't have a fullback.
But
that's it.
Do that.
Kusanov's 50% a fullback. Kusanov's played,
and he right. Vinny's leg straight out from under him.
I agree.
Kusanov is a right back.
2 minutes.
More than
that's what I'd have done. Real Madrid got excited when, and I feel for Rico. I got told Rico Lewis went home gutted the other night, and I feel for the lad. Because he probably does feel he's been hung out to dry.
Especially having Foden there as well on that same side.
John Gennaro became Haaland's striking partner because no bugger went down his side second half.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it was Rico's fault for the goal, really.
No, it was Kovacic.
It was all down to Kovacic. And that's why...
You are the ball bounce, to be fair. He was put into such a bad position. He's not a big guy though, Martin. To him to try and whack that out of the stadium was so unfair for him. No, you should have Kovacic whacked out the stadium.
Kovacic should have. Yeah, that was just lazy. I don't know whether he was tired. He's just lost it mentally. But Kovacic's pass.
Rich.
Well, I don't. But it's the sort of lazy thing you do in Sunday League when you've played for 90 minutes and you can't be asked to run to the ball and you just stick a leg out. I mean, it really was. It was just like, I don't know.
I don't want
like
to see Kovacic in a City shirt.
It's like something I'd have done in the League 8 Sunday League of, the Northern Beaches. It was just like, that wasn't.
That's what we all needed.
It was embarrassing. I might not have been able to jump quite that high, but it was just embarrassing. And I don't blame Rico for that at all. I think Rico is put in a suicide position by stupidity.
See, there's someone else. I need to rewatch this. Has Gundogan done something in this game that I missed?
Listen, the reason that I can't bring up Gundo up is not that you're right. I don't think he was bad. It was just, I think the frustration of we're bringing a player who has been bad this season and hasn't brought really anything to any games he's been in. And it's just the frustration of having to rely on him coming in with no legs. I would have rather Nunes come in because at least Nunes has shown that he's got legs. At right back, he was doing a job pretty much. Wasn't perfect, but as you pointed out, Martin, he's not a right back. He was doing the best he could.
But that's why I'm not putting him there, Ozzy.
No, but I'd rather be in midfield than being, than on the bench.
I watched Nunes play right back for 3 weeks, and I've seen 3 wingers destroy him.
I'm not saying bring him in at right back. I mean, I would rather him come on the pitch instead of Gundo.
Yeah, but Gundo sees the game out usually. That's what we're used to.
He hasn't seen the game out all season, though. That's the problem. Yeah. Like, bringing him on isn't seeing the game out because he's proven this season he can't do that.
Yeah.
The problem is that we've as my point earlier, we have got players currently that Pep is just basically saying, these are the players I trust, and you're going to get me out of these messes. And we haven't got anybody else. We've got Nico who, got injured on his first game and we, wasn't fit enough to come on the pitch. So we had no one else.
I will say, by the way, I thought Phil Foden was phenomenal when he came on. Best performance.
He was absolutely. It's the big thing. I just like to get this point. Like, what I couldn't understand is there were like 4 or 5 Real Madrid players, and we were talking about the likes of Bellingham, who are all on yellow cards. Why on earth we weren't targeting these players? Because it was going to be so easy in this type of game, and Bellingham should have got a yellow in all honesty, but the ref decided to let it go. I don't understand why we didn't make more of that opportunity, because it would have been brilliant to take, to Real Madrid next week with them having a couple or at least one of their players missing.
Yeah, and that's where we
just didn't press that opportunity, and I just couldn't understand it.
Yeah, even Grealish is known for winding players up. So if he stays on the pitch another 30, 40 minutes, then maybe. But yeah,
any of the players could have done that. It didn't have to just be Reece. It could have been any of our players actually putting some pressure on the likes of Bellingham to him to make those type of fouls where we know he's done it because he did it and he did get a yellow. Do you know what I mean?
My other question for you, I mean, the bigger question, and I think we need to move on to Newcastle soon, but is how does that go down in change room? Like, take, Kovacic, it was a sloppy mistake. That must really irritate teammates. But how is it going to feel for Haaland or Foden or the players who've played well, given their ass, to see Ederson do that? To see Ederson basically take basically a slap in the face to all of your teammates. And I'm Ederson's number 1 fan. I think he's 3 times the keeper Ortega is. But how are they going to take it that he thinks he's
Haaland's
so
reaction
important?
After the game, Rich, was enough.
He thinks he's so important. Yeah, he can do that, and we just have to live with it. Like there's a level of arrogance.
Edison's on his way out. Edison's on his way out.
He has to be. Pep must have smacked him in the face after the game. But he was good all game.
No, I feel sorry for poor Scott Carson because he sat there going, both my goalies are dropping bozo moments and I'm still not getting a game here, lads.
We need to get Scott Carson in. We need to get him in. Get him in between the sticks.
Do you know what? There is
Newcastle.
There is no one. There is no one on earth I feel less sorry for than Scott Carson. He earns 25 grand a week to win loads of trophies and just have a laugh. He's got the best job in the world. Best job in the world.
BM, thank you. Oh, sorry, we've done that when becoming a YouTube member. BM said, don't think Seattle's played bad at all, and when's just story about our season? We can't grind out results. We could have done a year or two ago. Exactly. A question to you all, what does Bernardo give us now? Because I can't see what it is. Running. Rich loved the runner. He used to be a marathon runner.
What he did against Chelsea was brilliant. That was probably standout.
And he was
game
captain as well.
1, 2, plays off the shoulder. Very good. The list goes on.
Question for you, Ian. A question for Jordan. If Pep became available in the future, would you take him as a coach? Are you even
thinking about that?
Are you even thinking about that?
Pep's great. We all know he's fantastic. He's one of the best in the world. So, Eddie, at this present time, what are you laughing at?
We're having a chat in a bit, me and you privately, because you're winding me up right now with that.
Why?
It's got to be winding us up because that
you're
I just
winding
can't
me
believe.
up even thinking about this.
Why?
Right.
Why?
Listen, Martin has a long-term agenda against Eddie Howe. A couple of seasons ago, I was raving about Eddie Howe. I was raving about Eddie Howe, and Martin said he's terrible. He's just got an agenda against Chris Wood and Eddie Howe.
Yes, I know that.
I rate both of them.
Right now, the problem is, the question is, if you look at it in the future, right? In the future, does it become a Jurgen Klopp where he just gives up and goes, I want to do something else? So at this present time, I would take Pep Guardiola. In the future, I don't know. There you are.
Sensible answer.
You a politician?
Who?
Are you a politician?
No. You know what? I give me answers right. The answers in the future.
Most of the time, Ian, though, they either go out on their own or they're sacked.
It's the way you said that. You went, and have him now, but in the future, I'm not too.
Because the
future, he might be 85.
By the time we leave City.
Yeah, he might be in City for 40 years.
Depends if he wants to come to a young blood team full of young players, or for you to look like an old German squad that needs to be revamped.
Oh, look at him. Look at him. Ian's changed his tune. He's getting like me.
No, because I've listened.
They've reached the cup final, ladies and gents.
I've listened to you bicker on for the last 10 minutes about we're too old, we're this, that, the other. We need a load of change. You just remind us of the German squad that dominated for years, then went from the 21 level that won nothing. Then all of a sudden they dominated the game. Yeah. That's what you're in.
Unlike you, we can spend 500 million to get out.
And we're like Liverpool. We're just like Liverpool. Was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago where Liverpool got stuck with Milner, Henderson, and Fabinho?
Yeah.
And then they fell apart. And the annoying thing for City is we saw Liverpool do it, and then we did exactly the same thing.
Yeah. And I said this.
2 years later, that's a bit annoying.
I got called Happy Clapper. I've had all sorts thrown at me. And I was the first one 18 months ago who said we were sleepwalking into a Liverpool situation. Everyone laughed at that.
Well, I tell you what it is, son. Stick your chest out like a little robin and walk around the garden because you were right again.
Anyway, James, thank you for your phone out line. I thought we set up very safe. RXG backs us up like chances. Walking football, only built the nerves, set up not to lose for me. Maybe you're right. Dash Smash, thank you. I've just got your message. We'll get you on up for the post match if you're free. Dash Smash, so I do apologise, mate. Thank you for renewing for 21 months, mate. You are a legend. Foggy, didn't need to, mate, but I will. Martin, buy your wife some flowers from me. Lots of love. No, lots of love back to you, mate. Thank you so much, Foggy. She's got enough presents for tomorrow, but I will have that. Thank you so much, Foggy. You're a legend. And then you followed it up by gifting another 10 memberships. Thank you so much, mate. You really are a legend. I appreciate that. Big up everyone in the chat. I am still going through. Fee, question for Ian. What area do you feel is our weakest? Defence or midfield? We know how we feel as fans, but how do you feel as Magpies? And where do you think you'll exploit it?
Midfield.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
Your
so are you
midfield actually
tonight.
does terrify me, Ian.
Hang on, I've got a question for Fit. Are you sat next to your husband? Because you're not normally this negative. Are you sat next to your husband right now and you've got to give the right answers?
And
Yeah, thank you. Don't let KDB and Silva get away with it. I've got an update on KDB. I will share with everyone in a bit. £2, the Portuguese Hornswoggle turned into Gallagher. Wow. Wow. Okay, Rich. I mean, I didn't go that far in destroying him. But Jesus.
What's he called? I can't even see it underneath my
Portuguese Hornswoggle
stuff.
turned into Gallagher. I didn't know Bernardo was that small. I thought he was a bit bigger than that.
Yeah, I'm taking that as Nunes.
Who did get on the pitch? Yeah, okay.
Professional Idiot with the $20. Thank you, mate. Pep is the biggest one to blame. He keeps playing these old people who don't have legs and refuse to try something new. What new? Because O'Reilly was not the answer there, mate.
Yeah.
When you have no legs, your mentality follows suit. We need legs even there. This is my thing. We had made all the subs. The problem was, and this is where I'm going to go into this before we move on to the next part. KDB can only do 60 minutes right now, and then he's done. You could see KDB's energy tapping away during that game. He was getting less and less involved.
Do you think we took way too long to take him off?
Yes,
Yeah.
I took him off at half time.
Yeah.
And to follow it up, from the news I've heard today, the likelihood is he's probably going to be leaving at the end.
Yeah. Look, I think it's for the best, to be honest. I just don't want to see another Carl.
The person I know loves him rang me up crying today, going, he's gone. Shut with you. He went, it's devastating. You know, so what? Literally crying. So what's up? So he's gone. So who's gone? So I'm like, he said, no, he's gone. He says, I know how you feel. So I'm getting all these cryptic clues for 10 minutes. And then he went, oh, you felt with David Silva. And I went, oh, you mean Kevin? He went, yeah. Took 10 minutes to get to that stage.
I just don't see how anyone can love Kevin as much as David Silva. David Silva is just football perfection. You know,
he does it on purpose sometimes.
David Silva must suffer when he walks down the street that people just run up and hug him.
Just someone took a picture of that. Ian took a picture of that and sent that to Baz.
I've been getting a little bit of stuff the last couple of days, so just forget that.
Are you saving that tomorrow? Am I getting that tomorrow night?
Probably. You will get it.
Oh,
There'll be more than that. There'll be more than that as well.
Don't worry, I've already got Haaland's records all there.
Yeah. You might get Guimaraes is better than Kovacic.
Well, that's easy.
That's a fight you'll definitely win.
You lot are sounding like Arsenal fans at the minute. You got the best.
I am not.
Best this, best that, the best this,
Listen,
the best that.
I tell you,
I am not like that at all.
But we will.
You follow Isaac when he goes to Arsenal, then.
There's one thing I just need to share. I'm just going to share this with everyone.
Honestly, I don't see him going. I don't. So you're all right, mate.
Can't afford him.
It's not that, but I mean, why would you want to go to Arsenal
now? Arsenal now have got to be thinking, are we going to miss out on the top four?
There's only one club.
They're playing Trossard up front for the rest of the season. Like Arsenal are in massive trouble. Jesus out for the season, Havertz out for the season, and they sign no one.
Right.
I look at Isak. I do. I look at Isak as our Aguero. I can see Isak staying like Aguero did with us.
Right, can you all see that on your screen now? I just needed to bring this point in. Ian, this is what we've talked about privately.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone knew, but on Tuesday night, I felt like I was in the away end of the Real Madrid game. Now, I'm not one for having to go to the club. I will back the club, but I am sorry, the club needs sorting this out ASAP. It is a joke. This has come directly to Danny Wilson from someone at the City Matters group, 18 and 25 rep. That I said, I don't think, hi Danny, don't think it will come as any surprise that I'm writing to you about the scenes at yesterday's Real Madrid match. There were countless incidents of non-Manchester City fans sat in home areas. Many were ejected from their seats by stewards. Others were celebrating a Madrid victory following full time. And I can't believe that I have to say this. Do I need to mention the individual who managed to get into the stadium with hair clippers and did cut somebody's hair? I still can't believe that happened. There is an important caveat to this, I think, to note that not all non-Mancunians are non-City supporters or tourists. However, it is undeniable that there were non-City fans in attendance last night. I should not have to say, but these incidents make a mockery of both the club and its supporters. I have seen one supporter describe it as the feeling like an imposter in their own stadium, which I felt to be quite apt. It's undoubtedly a security risk too. Without condoning the behaviour of anyone involved in a physical altercation, the anger that has emanated from last night is emblematic of wider concerns about the ticketing policies, and it would be remiss of me not to mention the impact of increasing prices, both recent and historic, in that. Now, it does go on. However, what I think is more worrying is the disdain that many supporters hold the club in. You only have to look at posts on social media by the club, especially from the Man City Help account, to see this. From what it is worth, I feel rather downhearted about having said this, not because I do not feel that fans' concerns are valid, far from it, but because I've written to the club on a number of occasions, particularly this season, about non-City fans in attendance, and it appears to be in vain. Whilst there are incidences of good work being undertaken in this space, I have little confidence that the wider issue will be resolved, and it isn't a great reflection on fan representation. With this in mind, I would like to see now how the club intends to resolve this problem. This needs a root and a branch review. It is clearly not an isolated incident, both yesterday and beyond. It also needs to be transparent and public with supporters, such as the lack of confidence without being curt. I would appreciate a comprehensive response rather than a hello platitudes about how this is disappointing. We are now beyond the point now, and fans deserve better. That is from Alex Howell, the chair and under-25s representative from the City Matters Group, the fan representation. So yes, that's where we're at, and we will keep you updated with how that went. But I saw a Real Madrid fan headbutting a woman, or trying to headbutt a woman, in the stadium.
Yeah.
There was pockets of fights all over the North Stand. There was pockets of fights all over the East Stand. You've all seen the video of someone having his hair cut during the game. While I can't get in with a lighter, but someone can get in with a full hair cutting kit.
Yeah.
Welcome to 2025.
$1,000,000%, mate. And we've had this conversation so many times, and we've had. It's so difficult for myself to get tickets. I'm not a season ticket holder, but I'm on friends and family lists of other people who gets me tickets, right? And when you see away fans in areas where it's supposed to be season ticket holders or members only, I'm flabbergasted how they even get in there. I really do. And I honestly don't know if these people are playing over the odds or the club are just. I just don't know.
The problem is, it
has to stop. Martin, it has to stop. It really does.
Let me give you a bit more of a clarity. We were told they messed up the ticket situation because they actually put ticket sales on hold because they said there was an internet issue on their side.
Well, that's different because we are like. I tried to get Nottingham Forest tickets, and they were sold out, gone. And if you're going back and saying that there's a situation on your end, and then you've got other people coming in, that's a completely different ballgame altogether, mate.
No, but it's the thing is, Ian, we've had this same problem. We played Real Madrid the last 4 years. And
Yeah.
there's always a mess up at the Real Madrid ticket section.
Yeah.
Don't know how.
Yeah, no, it was interesting, Martin. I was what 2 years? Was it 2 years ago? We won 4-3 against Madrid, and I came back for went to 3 or 4 games for a couple of weeks, and Watford. We beat Watford 5-1 on the Saturday, and then played Real Madrid the following Wednesday. And the difference in the crowd was ridiculous. I would say Saturday, you know, it was. I'd say the crowd on average was 10 to 15 years older for the Watford game than the Real Madrid game. And I would say was about twice, well, maybe 50% more Mancunian for the league game than the Real Madrid game. There were so many, and a lot of them weren't even Real Madrid fans. There were so many people who'd flown in from Europe to see the biggest game of the season, you know, groups of 8 lads. And I think one group, they were probably like Paris, and there was some Barca fans who'd come to support City, and it was just that they'd got the tickets because they had to join membership, and because there's no season tickets for it, they're joining membership and were getting them at the same time, I guess, as a whole lot of City fans who were members were becoming eligible, and it just meant for a very different crowd, you know, for European gamers for a home game. But we've had a few other things this season, like the 10 Barcelona fans in the away end at Anfield, because Pep or someone has given 10 mates tickets and they've turned up in Barcelona shirts supporting City. But you know, why are you going, like, when everyone's desperate for away tickets and most fans can't get them? You know, and you see, like, you know, I got a ticket to Bournemouth away, which is the hardest game this season or last season, and got there, and the guys who gave me the season tickets, 30-year season ticket holders, got a ticket, helped me out, and they're like, you've got to be really careful because there's
How do
30
you
of
get
these people
away and I can't freaking get anywhere near it?
Because you know someone that got a ticket.
Do you know the absolute
last minute, good luck is all it was.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But the point is,
yeah,
chatting in the pub, and you know, and they're saying, well, 1/3 of the people in the away end are getting tickets corporate because they're getting them from sponsors, they're getting them from the club, they're getting them from that. You know, 10% are getting them just because they're under 23.
Well,
and
just said,
there's a lot of old fans who have 40-year season tickets who aren't getting a ticket, and there's a bit of anger.
Giving it to your boss.
There we go.
He's not. She's not a City fan, so
don't be like that, Martin.
You know,
we have to put up with it on a daily basis.
You know, in all seriousness, you know what made it worse is you couldn't actually transfer your ticket blue out. City stopped the transfer process, so you couldn't.
Well, they've tried.
Anyone. Well, they tried. Clearly, did not work.
It's not necessarily succeeding.
Yeah, I don't know how you're going to do it. I don't know how you're going to do it. Right now, it's a mess. And you know, the sad thing is, the real sad thing is, I don't think we're far away from someone getting seriously hurt again.
You know what the really sad thing is, Martin, and this will happen next year. We're opening a new stand. We'll have another 5,000 tickets. Jeez. If you were to ask people at the heart of the club, would you rather a true City fan pay £50 for this ticket for Real Madrid, or a tourist who you don't know if they're a City fan pay £150 for that ticket? What do you think they would honestly say?
I know what the club want.
Take the tourist all day long.
I know what the club want, but do you know, here's my thing.
And that's,
if Nick was coming over from Australia,
they want you.
Why should we have to pay 150 quid when I'm only paying 50? This is my thing. This is not even about.
If he went for it now, if he goes to the supporters club from Australia and get a ticket, and he'd get it at a good price. He'd get it at a good price.
And I hope you don't mind me sharing this, Nick.
No, go for it, man.
And he said, Martin, I'm trying to get tickets. Coming next year, how do I do it? I could have said, go on a tourist website and enjoy yourself, mate. Spend 200 quid. I didn't.
Yeah.
I pointed him to Alan. He's in Melbourne. I said, join the Melbourne branch. You can put your hand in and you'll get a ticket for face value.
Yeah.
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 I am not saying to City fans in America or New Zealand, Australia, or Timbuktu or South Africa, you should not be having to pay £150, £200 for a ticket that I'm only paying 60 for. If you are doing it as a Liverpool fan or from abroad and you're coming just to watch City Real Madrid, then that's up to you. I don't care how you are. You're not a City fan.
Yeah.
This is not a local versus
City do
fan
treat
abroad
City
debate.
treat the official supporters club gets treated very well, and it's almost advantageous.
Why is
being
the
in a foreign
chairman
club
distance himself from all this, Rich?
one of the problems is that if you're running, you know, the Worsley or the Prestwich club, you'll have you might have 100 people applying for a ticket every week. If you run the Melbourne club, you might have the same you might have 300 members the same, but you might only have 2 people apply for a ticket, and so it percentage wise, it advantages the foreign supporters club because they don't apply for many tickets. Whereas, you know, I know that the big Mancunian supporters branches will have, you know, possibly over 100 applications every week, and they may only get 4 tickets.
Do you think the chairman of all the supporters branches doesn't want to lose his in with the club?
Martin, give me 2 seconds.
I'm sure no one wants to lose the win.
We are moving on to the Newcastle.
No, right. I'm going to make myself a drink and I'm coming back.
Yeah,
and we'll talk
you
about
won't get a double.
Newcastle.
The
Yeah.
real stuff,
You'll
right?
need it. Get yourself a double.
2 seconds.
I'm not saying, listen, what he does is a tremendous job. But sometimes when he needs to step up, I think he fails at it because he's scared of the reaction from the club. And you know who I mean. Because every single club and Pearson put that letter out last week, except his name. He would not put his name on it. And that's my issue. Too many people are scared of losing their in with the club.
Well, sadly that's life in every facet of life, really. I mean,
and you know who I mean, so I'm not going to mention. I'm going to go at him. I know why he does it, but if you're representing the supporters club's difference, you're there for the supporters.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, isn't it?
Right, Newcastle. I'm going to start with you, Nick. Because all of us so far.
I'm back.
He's back. See,
he heard Newcastle and he flew back.
Yeah, I flew straight in.
Right, I heard we're going to get slapped 5-0, 6-0, 8-0. No, it wasn't esteemed. 8-0, 9-0, 4-0. Is anyone actually, are you confident at all, Nick, in this? Or?
Surprisingly, I actually think we can get a result.
Good lad, come on.
Yeah. I don't know who we're going to put out because I know we've got obviously second leg against Madrid, so it's going to be a bit of a tricky one in terms of lineup, but I don't know. I think we can get a result for sure. I think the midfield battle is going to be very one-sided, but I thought the same about Chelsea, and we actually kind of got on top in that game as well. So I know Newcastle's midfield's a lot better, but
I think with if we can play Stones in midfield again, I think that will make a big difference. I think, you know, if we bring in Kusanov for Akanji, I think if we have
Stones.
Well, I'd see how Stones has pulled up, but I'd like to think Stones can be played, and I'd like to think Stones in midfield in front of, you know, it's Ake wasn't injured, was he? He was just eased back in.
Ake was planned to come off.
Yeah. So Diaz and Ake, Kusanov and Guardiola.
Patrick's given up 4-1 Newcastle.
Stones. No, I'd be quite happy having Stones and Nico. I think that would start to give us a real, you know.
If he's fit enough, I would definitely want Nico on the pitch.
Yeah. I agree. I want some more minutes for him.
But I'd have Nico playing in that 6/8 a bit more. his legs slightly more forward, I think, and play Stones. And I think at the end of the day, up front, we've got talent that can give anyone. Yeah, Haaland can score against anyone. I think Savio is a great player. I think Foden, Marmoush. I think we've got some real talent up there. The real key for me is whether, say, Gonzalez and Foden, or Gonzalez and Bernardo can get enough supply out to the attackers to really do some damage. But I think once we get Ruben and Ake good defenders, if we can get them fit playing centre backs, I think we'll start to be a lot more solid. I think Khuzanov, I'd like to see him get full 90. I think he's a cult hero in the wings. So
Yeah.
I think it'll be a hard game, and I think both teams can win it. I think Newcastle will come thinking it's their best chance to win it. The Etihad probably in a decade or something. Because it hasn't been a happy hunting ground. But I think there's no reason for City to not think they can win it. I think they can. So I think that'll make it for a very good game.
Yeah, just jumping in, I'm going to throw one out there, but I honestly think Ake, although he's been injured a lot this season, has probably been our most consistent player in terms of putting in an absolute worldly performance.
As a true defender, yeah,
been absolutely incredible when he's played.
I think he's a very, very good defender.
Yeah.
So yeah, keeping him fit's crucial.
Yeah, so having him at centre back, especially if Stones is in front, him and Diaz, and if Ake's fit, I'd feel far more confident playing against quality like Isaac with Ake.
Will Doku
in the
fit,
team playing well
in time for Newcastle? Get some minutes.
Hopefully, he'll get some time off the
Hopefully,
bench.
he'll get some minutes. Yeah, off the bench.
Yeah.
I must admit, I just love Doku as a. I love him coming on. I think he'll struggle playing 90 minutes just because of his build consistently. Like, he gets muscle fatigue. I love the idea of Doku as a bring him on after an hour, and because if a defender's tired, having to go up against Doku would be hell, because he's probably about the best dribbler and the fastest off the mark in the Premier League. And play that against a tired defence, I think, I really like the idea of that.
I think you've got to. I think you're right, Rich, with Kuzanov. I think it's. Pepper said that he's ready to play, so he's got to be used. If he's not going to be bringing him during Real Madrid, he's got to come off and start
fast.
the game.
He's fast and he's physical, and
It's
I
what
love
we
the
need
way he
against
bounced
Newcastle.
back from. I love the way he bounced back against Chelsea, and I love the way, the entire Leyton Orient team moved to the other side of the pitch to avoid him. I know it was only Orient, but they're not usually players who get worried about a physical battle. And then he started following him over to pop him up in the air on the other side.
Yeah.
Right.
Ian, I was just going to ask, is Joe Linton out of the game? Is he still injured?
We haven't heard anything this week until now.
On the website, it says Joe Linton is ruled out till March. Harvey Barnes is out till end of Feb. Gordon is 50-50.
No, Gordon's fine.
Is he fine?
Yeah.
On the Premier League website, it still says he's doubtful.
Dan Byrne's
Botman
fine. Botman's
and
fine.
Dan Burn are doubtful as well, he says.
No, Dan Byrne and Botman's fine. The only ones that I've never heard anything of is Joe Linton. Harvey Barnes is the long term, which is going to be the end anyway. So the ones with Joe Linton, he was going to be it was a quad anyway, so it's going to be 6 weeks, I think.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course you can.
Because you're a Newcastle fan, and congratulations on getting to the final, by the way.
Yep.
I know the final's 4 weeks away.
Sorry?
I just said which we hope you win.
Well, that's great.
I hope Liverpool smash it, to be honest. I hope Liverpool smash it. But anyway.
I can't support the Scousers against anyone. Can't support the Scousers against anyone.
He comes on here, arrogant as anything, slagging off Ireland, giving it the big one. Anyway,
Listen. I have never once came on here tonight and given the big one been arrogant or anything like that. I've been very diplomatic. Listen to your shite about how bad you've been playing and how
You talk about
desperate
yourself,
and how
Ian.
bad you right did. And I've just sat in the background and you have just come up with that kind of shit.
You were feeling, Ian, admit it, you were feeling nostalgic because it was like all the Newcastle sites a year ago, and you're talking about, you know,
No, listen, it's not
your
the make
Peruvian wonder boy.
Yeah, go down that route, my friend. You're fucking far from worse from that.
Right, no,
Right,
Ian,
yes, go on, Martin.
I'm going to ask. Now, the last time you got to a cup final,
yeah,
you did fall off a cliff. And again, do you know what?
What, against United?
Yeah, and I do get it. I do get it because we did it a little bit. When you start getting to the cup finals, players start going, oh, I'm not sure here. You know, I've got
we're here. What we're doing here. Yeah, it's the occasion.
You normally don't go flying into a tackle like you may have done 3 weeks earlier because you don't want to take that gamble.
I get that.
Now, I know you're 4 weeks away, but you just said Gordon's just back. Dan Burns just back. Are they going to want to go in hell for leather on Saturday?
1 million %
to lose out in a cup final in 3 or 4 weeks.
1 million %.
That's all. And it's just a question. I'm not saying you will.
Yeah.
That's my concern.
I think me personally, I think a week in football is massive. I think 3 weeks away is a mile away. I really do. And it goes to show with the Arsenal game because we played Fulham at the weekend and then we played Arsenal on the Wednesday, and we were a shadow of ourselves at the weekend. But when we played Arsenal on the Wednesday, we were phenomenal. We were phenomenal for everybody, and I mean, I've said it from day one. Martin, when we're at home, the crowd has got such a massive part to play, right? Because it'll either be one way or the other. Like we've explained on hours of phone calls, like I said, is it either goes one way or the other. The first tackle, the first header, the first real attacking threat, the crowd gets up from it, and that pushes it, and again, especially against Arsenal. And I just thought we were phenomenal. We were against in the cup quarter, the semi-final. So I don't, getting back to your question, mate, I just think it's too far away to think about it at this present time. I really do.
I mean, right now, we're both level on points. We're both level on goal difference. It very much feels that this game could see who's in the top 5. Kind of how it feels right now to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're knowing we've had this really bad result from Real Madrid. It's probably going to impact us mentally again. Newcastle, you've had a couple of losses, but you've just got the better midfield right now than us. At the back, you're a little bit more solid. So you're looking at this game. But yeah, you're looking at this game as a potential we can get 3 points here.
I am certainly not going down to yours and thinking that we're going to get 3 points. Not at all. I can't remember the last time we've actually went down there and won. But I still think both teams will score. And I think whoever scores first will win. There you are.
To be fair, one of my best friends who I work with, he's a Newcastle fan. He said exactly the same thing, actually. He said, I have no confidence in winning. He says, because we know what the City can do on their day. You know, and he just, he said exactly the same as you. He said, you know, whoever scores first, I could see winning.
Yeah.
I personally win. I honestly will win. Because I do think we'll have a different midfield. I do expect Nico Gonzalez to play, hopefully.
I'm glad you've said this, Martin, right? I'm glad you've said this, mate, right? Because you've changed formations in both games against Arsenal and Real Madrid, respectively, because of the opposition. You played 4-1-4-1 against Real Madrid, and you played 4-2-3-1 against Arsenal. because of what they play. What do you think you will play with our midfield three?
You want me to tell you what I think we'll do? The same way at Chelsea, I think we'll bypass your midfield three.
What, and go one direct? What? So right. So this is why I'll put a formation down to counteract your long ball, and I think we'll play exactly the same we played against. I think we'll go 3 at the back.
Potential. See, I think he'll put Nico Gonzalez in there.
Yeah.
He'll play the long ball very similar because I think at home,
do you know last night as well, mind? I thought he's played a lot of long ball towards Haaland because I think that's you look for him on the shoulder and you look for him because he's very good at the press and he's aggressive and he gets about the place, right? But we're a different beast, right? Where Isak will pick it up on left. He's very unreal. Like he'll pick it up in areas where he'll pull your defenders in and pull him into where they didn't want to be like. But he's great at what he does. So I just think
don't be comparing him to Henry. You'll get the Arsenal fans' tail up.
I don't give a shit about the Arsenal fans, to be honest, and I don't care. But if we play 3 at the back, because normally we play 4. And this is why I think we'll be very, very favourable to be playing the same formation that we played Arsenal at the Cup at home. It allows us to stop that ball in behind because we've got 3 and because I know you will want to play Haaland on the shoulder because that's where he's very, very good. He's very aggressive. He's very good running.
Haaland's performances the last 2 or 3 games have gone up dramatically. In sort of terms of overall performance, his hold-up play, he looks a lot fitter. Haaland the last 2 or 3 games looks on it. Absolutely on it at the minute.
Martin, I must admit, mine, his flick-ons, his back to goal has been absolutely fantastic, and his build-up play has been great.
See, you're spoiling tomorrow night. I'm coming to Baz with all this tomorrow night.
Well, you wanted me to come on the show because you got to remember, I'll go on his show because I give all this, and he talks shite, really.
Hey, Ian, I've just got a quick one for you. Sorry, just a quick.
I'm only joking, Baz.
Just a quick one for you, Ian.
Yeah.
Is there any City matchup that you're worried about in terms of a City player versus a Newcastle player? Like in particular?
Yeah. It's your left full back.
Yeah.
And
Guardiola is a hell of a player.
I'm not bothered about Haaland.
Yep.
I ain't bothered about Haaland, right? Because if we've got the 3 full backs there, the 3 centre backs, which will be hopefully, which will be Shaw, Botman, and Burn. Yep. I think we'll have enough to contend with him.
I'm not sure he's going to play. I think
why not?
Is a gamble going into a cup final, mate.
Hey, listen, we never knew what he was going to do against Arsenal at home, and he just pulled a performance out of that.
Yeah.
Right, you've got to remember, Newcastle United will go away at the Etihad, and we will play the same form. We will go 4-3-3, and we will get annihilated. We were playing at home against Arsenal in the semi-final of Cup, and everybody thought he was going to go to a 4-5-1 and sit back. How wrong were we? He went to a 3. He went to a 5. You bring the England right back, semi-final World Cup. Kieran Trippier back in. Right, you played Lewis Hall in there. Tonali Bruno was 2 holders. Absolutely fantastic, by the way. Isak, unbelievable. Anthony Gordon, top of the. He's playing at the best of his level. Jacob Murphy having a fluke season. Right, everything he's hitting's going in the back. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do that down in the Etihad? Why wouldn't you do that? Instead of going there and saying, we're not the Steve Bruce no more and going 4-5-1 and just say, come on, let's Man City, let's have it. We've got potential. Tonali now, I'm telling you now, is the best midfielder in this country by a mile.
At the moment, yeah.
By a mile. And in Martin, we spoke about Bruno on length and length. This kid, do you know what? We said about Bruno, right? Tonali is on a different level. compared to that man.
Mhm. He's having a very, very good season.
And do you know what it is? He's going to get better and better and better and better.
Yeah. He had a bet on himself for Player of the Year, didn't he?
Listen, and I'm glad it was a £50 bet. Do you know why? Because he's going to be the Player of the Season. Because he is absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, because Rodri's out.
He can. Can you imagine him at the Real Madrid side?
No, because they're going to try and buy Rodri instead.
No, but I'm saying though,
They want a Ballon d'Or.
This man is the best.
Yeah. I have to say, I've had a big soft spot for him ever since he went out to Wetherspoons for dinner on his first night.
Ian. Don't do that.
Look, we love Bruno. Me and Martin, we love Bruno as we do.
My daughter have gone off him, right? You keep him.
Well, because he turned you down twice.
Got Nico Gonzalez.
No, but no, seriously. Like I say, it's going to be a very, very interesting game. I'm going in there more confident now than I've ever been. It's simply because we've got a midfield structure there, and I think, especially with Isak, the way he's playing, Tonali's world class. Bruno's just Bruno. Gordon's playing really well. I think we've got a chance. I really do.
No, I do. I think anyone's got a chance this season. I agree.
I mean, we've had shows before, Martin, and you'll go, yeah, we'll beat you 3-1. We'll beat you 4-1. You've got to be realistic here. You've got a real tough chance. You've got a real tough tackle on your hands.
Of course we have. It's going to be a very hard game. I'm 100%. For me, I'm playing the new boys. I am playing Mamouche. I'm playing Kushinov. I'm even maybe trying out Rita Hayes. I'm playing Gonzalez. They are all unknown.
Can I ask you, so which formation out of them, right? Because I know Akanji's injured, right? So what formation will he play to suit what? Because obviously I've told you the formation, what we're potentially going to play. Mm-hmm. What do you think will suit yourselves to beat us?
If he plays the kids, it has to be a more defensive formation.
But surely that's...
Hang on, we need to establish this kid.
Sorry. They're inexperienced City players.
He won't play
these kind of blokes.
No, but all the new kids.
No.
He can't play any of that.
Nico Kusanov will play because Kusanov is a right centre-back who plays in a 3, and predominantly that's what City play, because Guardiola, whilst nominally a fourth defender and a left-back, I think he'll go Guardiola, and then only question is whether Stones is in midfield or at centre-back, but he'll play Guardiola, 2 centre-backs from Diaz, Stones and Ake, and Kusanov will get a Guernsey right-back. And then for a lot of the game, Guardiola will be playing off Haaland, and the other 3 defenders will shift across and play as 3 centre-backs.
He may go Mamouche, Doku, because the one thing we haven't talked about is, I know everyone thinks we're out, but the club do. I know we're all saying
we're far from out. Honestly,
this
in
is
a way,
where we're going to go to. Yeah. I know everyone thinks we're out. Players in the club are not viewing it as we're out.
No, in a way, I feel better as not being up, because I think if we were 1 up, Real Madrid would be so on it and so focused. I think we might get a bit of Madrid arrogance because they've got that first win at the Etihad.
No, the one that will say, and Luke said this earlier
we've seen how much luck shapes those games. We could go there and
this is why I'm struggling.
Get a one goal win easy.
I'm struggling because in the back of my mind I'm going, I know what Pep's thinking.
I could see him playing Nunes at right back.
I don't think Pep thinks we're out of this game in midweek, which I think changes our whole 11 out.
You went from Newcastle game back.
No. What I'm saying is, you asked me a question about the 11, Ian. I'm struggling at the minute to choose a proper 11 because if it was me, I know what I'd do. Pep Guardiola does not think he's out next week.
Right. So what gives you, if you don't know what you're going to play from today on Saturday till Wednesday, what gives you confidence to beat the mighty Newcastle United?
Because City have to do it. We're in a fight for top four.
So what tier would you put out?
What I would put out, I'd put out Edinson, I'd put Kushinoff, I would do Diaz, Stones, Gvardiol, I would play Gonzalez, I would play Kovacic, Mamouche, I would play Docker, Savio, Haaland.
And what formation would you play against us?
4-3-3.
I would go with the inverting.
Yeah.
But I'm putting Mamouche and Doku down the wings. Because if you're going to play the three at the back, because yes, you've got your three at the back, but you know yourself, those centre backs you put out and not
they don't stay there.
They're not the quickest.
No, but they don't stay as three.
No, I understand that, but it depends because the thing is, it's a hard one to ask me on Gonzalez because I've not watched him.
Yeah,
he is a complete and utter unknown to nearly everyone. I can't judge him on 20 minutes at Leighton Orient. It's very hard for me to make any judgment on him.
How can you boys handle them two in midfield, Tonali and Bruno? You tell me.
I don't know. Right now, I would say we can't. But again, Gonzalez is the wild card.
Yeah. And
I don't know what Gonzalez is going to... I don't know. Gonzalez might be a world beater.
And this probably comes...
I don't know. This is the problem. We don't know.
Do you know what gives me great confidence, right? Of all the... I've been on 2 shows now, Martin, right? With you. And it gives me great confidence to come on here and say we've got 2 absolutely brilliant world-class midfielders. And I've asked the question, and you've both said, I don't know how we can control them.
My only way of doing it is invert Stones. Invert Stones into it. Playing before, I drop to the 3, I invert Stones, and have Stones and Gonzalez doing that to try and counter-attack your midfield.
I get that.
Yeah. I think that's the and this is where we get to that problem of the Madrid game. Is that
that's why
I think Stones is the answer to it. But if Stones plays in midfield against Newcastle, the chances he can then play in midfield against Madrid, and he'll be vital to play that role in Madrid, that is where Pep is going to have to make a call. Is he prioritising Newcastle or Madrid? Because John Stones plays in the game.
I don't think you can prioritise Rich because they're both just as important right now.
But Stones, we can't afford to lose Stones for the rest of the season because we play him 3 times in a week.
Next weekend, because we're rolling into Liverpool then.
Forget Liverpool.
Tottenham after that.
Forget Liverpool or Tottenham. I'm going to ask you the next question.
I like that. Look at him. Forget them. They mean now.
No, they mean nothing. Isak, what do you think about him? How are you going to control him?
How do I
Kuznov's going to go into the back of him.
What?
The player had most. The best defender against players like him, and who regularly pops Salah in his pocket is Ake. But whether positionally we can set up Ake to play against Isak, but Ake is our best bet on that because we want Diaz free to organise the defence. So if Isak's going to have to be marshalled, it really is only Ake who can do that now. And the question for me is Ake fit enough to do it? Because prime Ake, I'm feeling quite good about putting him to marshal anyone. Ake, when he's not really played for 8 months and he's come in for a couple of games and he's got dodgy hammies, that worries me because the first time he has to sprint, is he going to pull up? And every City fan will be shitting themselves that the first time he has to sprint with Isak, does his hammy stay?
I think Isak's a very, very, very good player.
Yeah, I love Isak as a player.
I need to see more of him at the top level.
So I know what you're trying to say there.
No, I'm not. Stop trying to do that.
I know exactly what you're trying to say. Because what you're trying to say is you need to move away from Newcastle United at the top level.
No, there you go. That's what he's saying, Ian. That's exactly what he's saying.
What I'm
he
saying
needs to go to Arsenal.
I know
He
what
ain't good,
Haaland
Arsenal.
No, I know what Haaland can do against Real Madrid, against all these top teams around the world. I don't know what Isak can do because I've not seen it fully.
I get that. Yeah.
So that's why I can't put him in the world-class Haaland bracket.
Nick, what do you think?
The for me? No, the difference with me and Baz, I'm one of them. Is my strikers to score goals. I don't give a shit. I don't care who's juggling with the ball at the halfway line. That isn't what I bought a striker for. Let me ask
But
you.
he does.
No,
But he does score goals. To be fair, he does score goals.
I'll make the point.
Yeah.
Don't make me do the let me talk. Everyone tells me about Edison being this amazing ball-playing goalkeeper. Great. But what's the first job of a goalkeeper, Rich?
Save goals.
So,
Thank you. I don't
keep
give a
possession.
shit how he's kicking it.
But
Yeah,
Pep
but
does.
that's where you're different to Pep.
No, as a
That's where you're
football fan in
different to Pep.
2025, we have literally we've gone tits up on everything and we've reversed everything in football players. So a defender now has to be a ball-playing defender out from the back and spray 30-yard ball. We've now got CDMs that have to score 30-yard bangers. We've got strikers that have to come to the halfway line, hold it off and everything. We've got goalies that apparently can be shit with their hands, but they're amazing with their feet. I don't. Stouffer score and the DNA stat merchants have caused all this. Football is an eye test.
But Isak passes the eye test.
Have a breath, son.
No, because you put stuck in the 90s. How am I? How am I stuck in the 90s? Stop being ageism. Stop your ageist.
It's just Martinez's agendas that you just have to get used to.
I totally get what Martin's saying is because there's so many things that's changed what piss people off, and because they're trying, the modern day footballers and everything that are just getting away with murder, and I get what Martin is, and everything it's a frustration level. I totally get what Martin's saying, like 1,000,000%.
We literally praise a goalie for kicking, but he can be absolute shite with his hands, and we praise
because
it.
The olden days where the goalkeeper would have saved it and kicked it as long as he could. Now he's got to be a footballer.
I have to drop him apologise. Just as it's getting juicy, just as I can start saying that, they should scrap the handball for goalkeepers.
I'm sorry,
Bye.
you're one of the greatest goal-saving goalies around, but you're absolutely shite with your feet, mate. Get in the bin.
I've got a quick one for you guys. I would personally like to see Kusanov right back going up against Anthony Gordon. I think that would be a great test if we do want to throw him in against Madrid come Wednesday. Because again, Gordon's rapid and he's lightning quick. I know Vinny's probably the next level ahead of him, but I think it'd be a great warm up to see what he's got against someone of real quality.
Yeah, I get that, but why do you keep questioning Real Madrid rather than just Newcastle United?
Because again, right now it's an issue that we're going to have for the rest of God knows how long.
See, Martin knows me, and I take one game at a time.
Yeah,
and it's like question him against Anthony Gordon.
Yeah,
and then if he gets through that, then question him against Real Madrid rather than saying forget the
focus on Newcastle first. Yeah. No, I look, I agree. I'm very one game at a time, but I think at the moment with our injuries and just players just dropping like flies at the moment, I think it's hard to look at just one game. Like for example, we look at you and we go, let's just throw our best team out there. Then we roll into Madrid without Stones, Ake. We've already got Akanji missing, Grealish. It's just it's really tricky to look.
No disrespect, right? No disrespect. What I'm getting the feeling back is, you're overlooking Newcastle United if you're already concentrating on Real Madrid.
No, I don't think it's that. Honestly, and I think the problem is
because they're such both big games.
Because
it is.
The reason why I'm saying that is because it's like Newcastle's a smaller club than Real Madrid. I get that, it's Champions League. But you've got to remember is that this game for you at the weekend is more important than it is for Newcastle United.
Yeah,
Because
100%. Look, to be honest, I want to send.
If yous don't win this at the weekend, yous are fucked. By the way, going for leagues or anything like that, you're going to fall behind of any. And if we win it, we've got momentum.
Yep.
But then you'll go into the Real Madrid game with a hangover of Newcastle United, potentially of us beating yous, which potentially it could happen.
Yep.
And then, for me, you should be focusing on Newcastle United, not Real Madrid.
Yeah, it's.
Hang on, can I just respond? Cosmic Bugger, right? Listen to respond. Sorry, listen to debate, not respond. When did I say that wasn't good?
Who said that?
People are saying I'm saying. I've never said that's crap.
You've always
This
said
what you're doing. You're not listening. Said he's not world class,
What?
because I need to see more of him in top games. That's all I've said.
The discussion what me, Martin, and Baz had at the start of the summer was, if Isak was in the Manchester City squad, he would score more goals than Erling Haaland. Correct, Martin?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Did we see he was a better player than Haaland?
But Baz did. You didn't.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
Baz did.
Because what I said was the service that he got in between the lines, in between centre forwards, in down the wing, because he looks for them all the time, which he gets starved at Newcastle United because the quality of player what Manchester City have compared to Newcastle United is a completely different level. Which I said was Isak will score more goals than Haaland, I believe, in a Manchester City side. Baz said he's better player than Haaland. I did not see that. There you go.
See, my thing was, because Baz asked me a question, would I swap Isak for Haaland? I said no. Now, I've already said, I don't think Salah would work in a City team under Pep.
Yeah.
Wouldn't work. Not every top player works in every single management structure. You can't understand that. You don't know ball. Simple as. This is where the SofaScore merchants are coming in. Because you're looking at stats. We've now got stats that have a stat to an assist, to a pre-assist, to a header, and it's like, what the hell? It's absolutely mind-boggling. And there are fans who sit and watch the game on SofaScore and go, oh, he's got a 6.7. What, 6.7? What the frig's a 6.7? It was a 6 or a 6.5.
I've got one to.
I think to your point, Ian. To your point, Ian, about like we're just bypassing the Newcastle game and looking at the Real Madrid game more. And it's not really that. I think the more we are looking at the Newcastle game, but what the problem we've got is we're looking at how are we going to play it and who's going to play it more importantly. Because right now, going back to my point earlier about, you know, Pep is playing the old guard, he's playing the players he trusts. But those players, we as fans look at them and just go, we can't trust a lot of them. So why can't you evolve and play some of the new players that have come in, like the Kuzanovs and everything? Put some more, because at the moment it feels like there's a bit of a head's got a lot of these players just feel like they're infected with something. You know, this disease that's spread out through the rest of the squad, where a lot of these players are just infected so much that they can't play. And we were saying that we need to see some of the new players come in, because we need to get rid of some of this. We need to have the players on the pitch that have got the drive and ambition to give it their all and not being, you know, infected with what's currently going on for the rest of the squad. So it's not that we're not taking the Newcastle game seriously. It's not that we're not looking at that game. The problem is you've asked these questions about who's going to start for you, what formation are you going to play. We can't answer you because we literally just cannot see how this team plays right now.
Also, on that
normally,
point,
normally we would play possession, we'd play tiki-taka, passing it around. But us doing that right now has just been a disaster. That's why we have been going long ball to Haaland, because that seemed to have worked. But you look at the Madrid game, we weren't really playing that way. We were playing more tiki-taka. It just completely collapsed when the likes of Kovacic and Gundo and Rico came on the pitch, because all of a sudden it just imploded.
Do you know what it is, Ian? No one believes City will beat Newcastle. Honestly, you probably gathered. I am reading it all now. The confidence in this fan base is on its ass. Because this is what I said a long time ago.
Why don't you feel like you can't beat this? Because you're home.
Because I'll be honest.
If you look at home form,
me and you, I'm going to say this. I don't care now. I'm going to say it. Our fan base got too used to drinking champagne, and they can't get used to taste of prosecco. They became too entitled, too thinking it was walking the park, and they can't accept that. But this is why it's slag this player, then it goes to that player, then it goes. You can't have an analytical viewpoint you can't have an analytical discussion anymore. It turns into everything shit, Pep shit, their shit, he's shit, their shit, and that's it.
Yeah. On Ian's
I
point,
kind of understand that point, Martin.
You're not an happy clapper, and I'll be honest with you now. I'll be straight with you, Ian. This is the most unenjoyable season I've ever had as a fan.
You've said that from day one of the start of the
But
season.
the simple fact is, I have watched a situation that because City aren't winning, like I said to you, Ian, because City aren't winning, I've had my kids threatened to be killed.
Yeah.
I've had myself threatened to be killed.
Yeah.
Because I back the club. And then people have the gall to say to me, fans' heads aren't gone.
Yeah. And all you do is think about the club that you love.
They are gone.
Yeah.
Next season, if we win the league and spend 500 million, these same people will be going, "Yeah, aren't we brilliant again?"
Yeah.
And then they tell me it's not about the trophies.
Yeah.
Look, be honest. That's
Just
all I ask
quickly.
for. It's honesty. I am an happy clapper. You admit it's about the trophies, and we'll call it even. We move on, shake hands, and go, "Hey, isn't it great?" And then, but when I say that, you're stuck in 1998. No, I'm not. I realise what we've achieved. The treble, 100 points, 4 titles in a row. There was always going to be a cut-off.
Relegations, moving ground.
There was always going to be a cut-off. There was always going to be a season where we had to stop, and rebuild, and go again. And people don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to handle it. So everyone's gone head gone. This season, Kyle Walker's shit, Kanji's shit, Gunnigan shit, Kovacic shit, Grealish shit, Edison shit. There's not a player up to now. If someone said to me, "Who's your player of the season?" I don't know because everyone's shit. Gavardio's 41. The list would
even had his bad patch.
Yeah.
So there isn't a player that I think is really can put his head above the parapet and go, "I've been brilliant." The rest of the shit.
1 week it's we want the kids, then we don't want the kids, then we want the. Nobody knows how to handle it, Ian, because for a lot of people, they don't know what to do. They're looking for an answer when the answer is simple. The squad is aged out. We made an error. We go on. We're not in the boardroom. We can't dictate transfers. We can't do anything.
Yeah. On Ian's point of us, like again, saying.
Yeah, not being relegated.
That we've kind of like overlooked Newcastle and looking ahead to Madrid. I think it's more as well that we just kind of want to see what Kusanov, what Victor Hayes, they're just so unknown to us at the moment, I think. And we're trying to see where they're going to fit in, what can they be for us. And I think, again, like Newcastle's a perfect test to see where he's at, if he's at that level to play that position. Going into those kind of bigger games. Because at the moment, we've got such a small sample size to go on. I think that's kind of where
we're hounding. Someone said to me today, "I hope KDB goes." Different person. You know what he said to me? "I hope KDB goes." I said, "Why?" Because I don't want him to get the Walker treatment.
Yeah. I'm in that.
That absolutely blew my mind. I went, "What do you mean then?"
And how much them players will give to your club is ridiculous.
We're talking a guy who is probably for 90% of the clubs.
Kyle Walker, unbelievable for your football club, by the way.
Best right back in the league.
Oh,
there's
by
ever been.
Mile.
Yeah, what he's done for our club is.
I'm scared of I want KDB to go so he doesn't get the Kyle Walker treatment. That's like me. I want David Silva to come back and get hounded out the door. Like, what has happened?
The thing is, though, he got his willy out in the chippy, but who cares?
I just think everyone needs to chill.
Not one of you said a thing there when I said that.
Yeah, because I'm not getting the channel demonetized. I'll be straight with you. The sooner fans, and this is a bit of advice, you take it or leave it. Accept it's a transition season, enjoy it, and enjoy the rebuild. You'll enjoy, because you will enjoy next season even better.
It's for the future of your football club. That people don't understand that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that's been really...
How old's Kushinov?
20.
You snatched him off us, right? He's 20-year-old, right? And his first game, he looked absolutely like a rabbit in the headlights. Terrible, right? But you can see he's a player in there. He's an absolute beast. He'll do well for
that game,
right? You know, great player. I mean, Minucci's, he's class, world class. This, you know, you spent what, 180 million, and you can see looking in from the outside, if people aren't thick, that your aging players are going to move on.
Yeah, the ambition's there from the club.
But the end of the day is you've got to have these young players that's going to come in are not going to they're not going to be a Wayne, as horrible as this sounds because I'm on the wrong channel, they're not going to be a Wayne Rooney where they set the world alight straight away. They're going to have bumps in the road, as I say. But overall,
Phil Foden's been told this shit this year, and the last season was a fluke. I'm like, I don't know where we go anymore.
Listen, Martin, if Pep decides to stay for the next 5 years, whatever, he'll bring these young kids on. And you'll be the same force for the next 5-6 years, without a shadow of a doubt, without a little bit of a stumble in the road, because your old age players have gone. That's what happens.
Yeah,
you know, he's not declined. He's just got old. He's just got old. He's not declined. He's just got old.
Plus the injuries as well, of course.
Who's saying KDB's declined? Oh my God!
He's not declined. He's just got old toxin. There's only so
many minutes of the legs what an old player can give.
You can't manage it
level consistently.
Cosmic Maggot, you can't manage it. This is what I've already accepted. You can't manage it. You just have to go with this season wherever we land and accept it. If you're still clinging on to we're going to do this, that, and the other, forget it.
Right. You know, if you said accept it there, Martin. What would you accept this season, by the way?
Right now, I'd be happy with top 4 and go as far as we can in the FA Cup or whatever.
As long as you get Champions League.
As long as you get Champions League, I'm all right.
Yeah.
And because I understand, I'm not bothered how we play. I just want to get as where we can, and then get to the summer. We finish the rebuild or we continue the rebuild. This is a rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's like knocking half your house down and going, it's shit, this, isn't it? Yeah.
Would you be happy with that, Ozzy?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought there was a point, like probably a few weeks back, where I thought we get into January, we get some new players through the door, and we can maybe, because especially with the FA Cup and the Champions League, it's a tournament, it's a competition, anything can happen. But right now, this overriding problem that we've got, which we don't know what it is really, apart from obviously what Martin said, injuries and players getting old. But it does feel there's more than just that going on, because it's affecting even fit players. But I've got to that point now where I'm just like, we just need to get top 4. We just need to get to that point, finish out the season, and as Martin said, we're going to the summer, and it's spending the money we need to bring in the right class of players to start that rebuild. And I don't think it's going to be possibly that we go into next season and suddenly we're challenging for everything. It may be that we still need another transfer window to bring in more players and get players to go out, because you've got to remember we've got quite an aging squad. and it's going to take time. We can't just bring in 7 players in the summer. Do you know what I mean? We brought in 4 this January. You've got to offset the balance. So, and we've got players on long contracts, we've got players on big contracts. So the likes of Grealish, if he's going to go, like who's going to take him? Do you know what I mean? All these things come into a factor. So it may take us a little bit longer than just next season we start something challenging.
Yeah.
But it is just about, we need to get to the end of the season and we just need to get into that top 4 spot. And Chris would have helped us do that, but Martin.
No. He's a bloody Newcastle. You know what I mean?
Where are Nottingham Forest right now, Martin? Yeah, enough said.
Never mind Chris Wood, because some of the shots he had, that ball is the full of
you know what? And I'm sorry for the rant, Ian. We're not overlooking Newcastle. The problem is, right now, everyone is all over the place mentally and emotionally. They can't analyse any games. Because the trouble is, we are looking 4 games ahead. Because it isn't just Newcastle. We're looking at Madrid. Then we're going, shit, we got Liverpool. Oh, shit, we got Tottenham. And if you ask a lot of City fans, 9 out of 10 think we're losing all of them.
Yeah. So, right, here we go then. What's your score's going to be on Saturday?
I'm going 3-1 City. I'm sticking my head in the camp and going with it, mate.
You always say 3-1 anyway.
I know I do. When have you ever known me not say 3-1?
I'm going to go 2-1 City, but I could very easily see a draw as well.
No, you can't sit in the fence, son.
No. I'm going the 2-1. Back me in for 2-1.
2-1. Back up there.
Go proper. Go Tui. Go Desmond.
Yeah, you Aussie.
Aussie.
I mean, I'm partially in that camp where I'm struggling to see us win this one, but I think it's going to be. I think it'll be a tight game.
Can you see us winning any game in the next 6?
I'm struggling to win this one, but I think we'll win it 2-1. Aren't you?
No, I mean, I'm honestly, it feels like it's going to go one of 2 ways. I think it will be a 2-1. I just can't say who to.
No,
honestly,
Mario, I agree.
Come on, Ozzy.
No, the thing is, real Mario, I agree. We took it one season too far. But
we've said that though.
There's nothing, we can't keep repeating it. You can't keep flogging. Someone's put down Pep's too old and going through divorce time to sack him. It's his first ever bad period in nearly 10 years. And the first time he does something wrong, you're kicking him out the door. We're not Chelsea. There is not a club. I mean, I'm going to say this seriously. There is not a club, Goku, that no team in the world would swap places with us. Real Madrid have not even won a treble. People talk about the treble like it was just some easy feat. 2 teams have done it in nearly 30 years. People are talking like football's just...
I know it's to that point where Liverpool get to a point in the season where they're doing well, and all of a sudden they're going to win the quad, and then they suddenly fall apart. Do you know what I mean? It's not easy to do. As Martin said, 2 teams have ever done the treble.
Just sack him. He's just signed a new contract.
Honestly, any club in the world would take Pep right now. Any club in the world would say, you don't
Ian's on the fence.
Ian's on the fence, but really, he can't admit it, but he'd take Pep in a heartbeat. He would.
Pep's world class.
Well, that's the past.
If any football fan around the world that knows anything a little bit about football, if Pep was offered, I mean, don't get me wrong, right? Eddie Howe's done a remarkable job at Newcastle United. And we love him, right? We love him for what he's done. And that's why I've got my faith in Eddie Howe. And
you're having a man, mate. It's your opinion. I don't agree. You're saying 4 in a row is the past. It was 6 months ago.
So if Pep was offered Newcastle United at this present time, I think the way we feel about Eddie Howe as Newcastle United fans.
No, read it again, Kelster. He didn't say it was a joke.
I think it would be a divide. It'd be 50-50 at this present time if Pep would come in or Eddie Howe. I really do.
I can understand that.
I don't think it'd be quite.
You're going with your heart, Ian. You're going with Eddie Howe has got us to this point. You know what a remarkable job he's done. No, honestly.
No. Martin knows me, and I do a lot with my head, and I'm very level-headed of the way I look at things and what he brings and what other things bring to the club and other things. With the current squad, I don't think Pep would get anything better than what Eddie Howe would do. So I don't think we would gain anything at this present time if Pep came than Eddie Howe. Unless
he brings Haaland with him.
I wouldn't. How would Newcastle United benefit bringing Haaland to Newcastle United? Already got Isak.
It's why I put it right. Do you know the way I view it?
So this is what I'm saying. This is why I go level-headed. Unless you bring Haaland with it, this is why I went straight back and go, how would we do?
Let me ask you this, Ian.
Yeah.
Eddie Howe wins you the Carabao Cup in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
The first trophy in God knows how long.
Yeah.
He then loses the next 2 games and you don't make top 4.
He loses. Sorry, he loses what?
He doesn't make the top 4.
Yeah.
And your fans all demand him to be sacked.
Right. For me, personally, that trophy needs to be presented like that. Great. But
don't do it. You're gonna do exactly what I think you're gonna do.
Right. PSR reasons. We need other things because of the budget.
Let me time Rich out. Can I time Rich out? Is a modern thing.
Martin, we're not
doing the PSI debate. Honestly, you people
we know what we
know.
speak about. So other fans don't realise what league positions and everything what falls into place of 80% of budgets, 70% of budgets, or whatever. We need to fall in a bracket where we need to spend to progress or sell a big player, which we don't need to do.
So if it's between a cup and top 4, you're picking top 4.
I'm picking the cup all day long.
You picking the cup because that's a sensible option.
If we finish in Champions League, we've got to spend 80% of it. It's 80%, isn't it, Martin?
7. If you don't make Europe, it's 8. No, these are the new ones that are coming in. The squad to ratio. At the moment, you're just at your 105 million loss.
There you go. So we need to be in that bracket where we need to fall in that way. We kind of do nothing, really. But we need to do something, which is hard.
By the way, house captain, by the way, you know when I said I speak to Newcastle fans and they know people, Ian is the person I speak to, so why he's on here. The amount of chats me and Ian have had, and Ian does know people in Newcastle, and he does know his stuff.
But for my point, what I was going to say is, I think winning the cup is more important right now because I just think it's a platform of you finally have to.
It's another dig at Arsenal. We can keep chipping away.
I wasn't thinking of Arsenal, but you have your agenda, Martin. But no, honestly, it's where when we took over and we built up to win the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup, it gave us that platform. We won it 4 years in a row, which always felt like it gave us that boost to end the season well because we'd have won a cup early. So I think with Newcastle, I think you win that cup, it gives you that boost. If it doesn't get into the top 4, at least it gives you the boost of we've won a cup. Your fans have a massive celebration and you deserve it because you can't. I wouldn't belittle the League Cup. I just think that momentum will push you into next season.
Honestly, I really hope we get there and do it and win. But it's that Liverpool thing where We've found a way to beat yourselves. We've found a way to beat Arsenal. We've found a way to beat Man United, but we've never found a way yet to beat Liverpool. I don't know how it is. They were down to 10 men at our place, and then Núñez came on and scored 2 rockets and beat us 2. You know, and it was...
A lot of big clubs, though, have struggled to beat Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? That's what we've struggled so many times to beat Liverpool. It's just one of those things where, but as I keep saying, in a cup final, anything can happen. Do you know what I mean? Okay. You don't even have to be the best team on the day. When we won the Champions League, we weren't the best version of ourselves to win that trophy. We just got a brilliant goal from Rodri, and we lifted the cup. We didn't care that we didn't play well. It was just we put the ball in the back of the net. They didn't get a goal, and we lifted the cup. It was. And I think as long as you do that in the final, you're not going to care how you got there. It's just going to be we won.
Yeah, it was the same as when what do you call them, Martin? The Rags. When they played against us, they didn't play very well, but we were terrible, and they beat us. And so you're right what you're saying. You don't have to play well to beat us, but I don't know. I would love us to. Of course you will. We've been there the last 3 years now, 2 cup finals in 3 years. Hopefully this time, you know,
better luck is sometimes all you need, or a decision, a red card, you know, anything to go in your favour. And
I'm looking forward to use on Saturday rather than a cup final. Martin knows me. I'm one game at a time. I don't want to talk about a cup final.
Still a long way away.
I'm used all over. And
have you got a ticket, by the way?
What, for the final?
Yeah.
Did you see?
No, I haven't seen 20 yet.
Have you not?
Tell me afterwards.
I'll tell you after. No problem.
Right. Anyway, we're going to wrap up in a minute. I have got a poll. We have been running a poll. We asked, what is your prediction for Saturday? I am going to end it now, so I'm going to give you 10 more seconds for our last few little votes to change around. It's actually higher than I thought it was going to be. So we're going to end it in 3, 2, 1. The result is quite simpler. What is your prediction for the game on Saturday? 65% have gone with Manchester City win. 19% said Ian's going to be dancing all over the time. And 14% have gone for a dour draw.
What was the scores? Did I not see it?
I'll put it. Jesus, it's YouTube, not catphrase. Not catphrase. God dare, I can't speak. It's not a game show. So much happy. Listen, Mancunian way, we happy clap.
I'm surprised, 65%.
Fox in blue, City till we die, not till we stop winning. Always remember that, sunshine. City till we die. We're City till we die.
Get in there, Martin.
I'm sure I am. I'm City till I die.
He's had his kit, hasn't he? He's had his hit.
I have said 3-1. Yeah. Anyway, we'll go round. Ozzy, win, lose, or draw. What are you going with?
Heart says win, head says draw.
Nick.
Come on, Ozzy. No. Come on. No, you all saw this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Let's get the score on the line. Never mind all this. Harvey.
Nick.
2-1 win.
2-1 win. Okay.
Ian,
seriously now, come on. What are you thinking?
Yeah.
Can you do it?
2-1 City.
Oh, I'm going to go 3-1.
I knew you'd say
right.
That.
For some reason, we've lost nearly 100 people.
Like, because you said 3-1 City.
Don't be delusional. What's delusional? Right. What I am going to do is that Martin knows who said City win it delusional. Let's go back in your team, mate. Try it. You mightn't try it. You might enjoy it. Right. I want to say massive thank you to Nick who joined us this evening. Really good debut on the channel. Always welcome, mate.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Ozzy
Yeah.
and Pat. Pat wasn't here. Ozzy and Rich, obviously. Lovely to see them again.
Thanks, I think.
Ian, tell everyone where they can find your buddy. The link is in the description below. And I am coming to the super chat in a minute. Herbal and Lee, promise you. Where can they all find you, mate?
On Through Black and White Eyes and on me ex name on there.
I had Back a Grove photocopier.
Oh, back a
Oh.
group, man, with me and that and dead, man.
Ian, we apologise on behalf of the channel for Martin's
Don't you worry about him.
No, don't worry. Wait, hey, I'm going on their show tomorrow night.
I'm
Wait
not
till
on
you see
this.
what I'm going with.
I'm
He's
not on.
going because he's getting steak and you know what. It's Valentine's
You
Day.
know exactly.
So was all that.
So,
I can't go on Valentine's night.
listen, I had a choice, right? And this use of privilege, right? He says, look, I've got my own channel on tomorrow night. And I went, no, it's Valentine's night. I've got to be with my wife. So I picked this Pillix night. So I've came on tonight on your show.
Maz's come at him. You're choosing Matt. You're choosing the
But you're choosing him over me.
Channel. You
I
bastard.
goes, it's amazing the blowjobs Martin gives.
Hey, I was only in the chat. I tell
I know.
you, that's got to be some rump steak. Anyway, I will say this: we were going to do the 5K giveaway, but we're going to do it on the post match for Newcastle at the very beginning when we have everyone with us, because we'll lose it. There's not. I want everyone here because it's a massive giveaway, and we're going to give away 2 tickets for Plymouth Argyle and a shirt of your choice. We're not giving it away to both. It's 2 tickets, 1 shirt, not 2 tickets, 2 shirts. Jesus. We're not that
Not
rich.
made of money.
Not made of money. Coming out of Ozzy's pocket, this. Um,
I think I've said no.
no, you get a City shirt and 2 tickets to go to Plymouth. Jesus. No. I'm not giving you a Plymouth shirt. You're not going away in.
Get me 5.
Mind you, might be cheaper.
I bet it's not. By the way, if you are with your other half tomorrow night, have a lovely evening. If you are on your own, don't feel lonely. Send us an email. There's always someone to talk to. Look at poor Alan. He's on his own. He's single. Ready to mingle.
He was with me at the pub on Wednesday morning for the game.
Oh, sorry, Nick.
By the way,
No,
I do
it's good.
apologise that.
Ozzy, by God, you
really
put a damper on that.
I will say, by the way, Daps has realised he should never be giving out his phone number. He's now getting phone calls and God knows what in the middle of the night. And Daps is like, I'm taking my daughter to school and you not be ringing me at 7 o'clock. No, DC.
Right, Ian, we give him your number, so you're all good.
No,
DC, Alan has no longer got a girlfriend. Right? Because the batteries went flat and that was it. They had to move on.
I thought you got a puncture.
No, the batteries went flat. Either way, he was using a frigging doll. Anyway, each their own. But if you are having a lovely Valentine's, enjoy. I'm going to spend it with my other half and with Through Black and White Eyes.
There you go. Love eyes.
see, I chose the best one, didn't I?
Alan, a legend in his own head. Anyway, have a lovely evening. Get over to Through Black and White Eyes. All the City channels are below. We'll do post-match Saturday or Sunday, but we'll let you know the score now. If City don't win, we do the post-match the next day. And we'll do a short. If City win, we'll come and do it that night. Oh, yes,
Yeah, we'll come
superstar.
back
Thank
on.
you very much. Lee Gates, you are a superstar, mate, for your £5. The season was a step too far, Martin. Just something isn't right when we concede late. Our heads drop You are spot on, mate. How do you carry on the rebuild in the summer? You have to sell 5 to 6 minimum, and you will bring in, for me, I think you'll bring in 2 goalies, 2 mids, a fullback, and a winger.
Greedy.
It's how you win, mate.
Exactly.
all
All
the
I
money.
see is the Florian Wirtz rumours are true. City are trying to get Florian Wirtz. A little bit of
Especially
Jimbo
now that we've-
McAtee the other way. Anyone fancy about that? I have had a chat. Spaces will come back probably next week. You must stop. Why? There's no need for that. I learned from you. Martin's showing off on the single for Valentine's Day. Hey. Paul Pat, what is he doing wrong, DC? Oh, what's this? Pep's my Valentine. Wow. Pat's been dumped. Anyway, no, thank you all for joining us. Smash the likes. It's your channel. Massive thank you again for over 5K. We'll see you over the weekend. Where City, excuse me, will hopefully smash the Geordies.
Come on now. Come on.
No, we're smashing you.
You always say that anyway, don't you? So
Like,
When was the last time you were at the Etihad?
exactly. Saturday. Oh,
Hope you didn't have a beard the last time you went at the Etihad.
because I was little.
No. But anyway, take care all, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.